Hey y'all, I know what you're thinking. Why the hell is a teenage boy telling me how to run my short-term rental? And why the hell should you even listen to me? So let me introduce myself. My name is Anthony. I'm a 23-year-old University of Florida graduate, and over the past 3 years, I've realized some real success here in Gainesville, Florida through the short-term rental market. So I got my start about 3 years ago in 2022. I had picked up a general interest in real estate. I was still in school. I was reading a lot of the Bigger Pockets books. I was really interested in like the BRRRR strategy, for example. I read all the multifamily millionaire stuff. And at the same time, my mom was also doing her MBA at Stony Brook. It's a school in New York, originally from New York. And we both had a general interest in real estate. We were kind of trying to get the ball rolling and figured no time is better than now. I was about to get out of a lease, and we just figured that I could live with a buddy of mine here in Gainesville and stifle the rent and have it as our first investment property. And through our findings and through our property search, all that good stuff, we found that a lot of people were doing very well in Gainesville, Florida, short-term renting. So when we finally stumbled upon this house, which I currently live in now, the previous owner had converted the garage into a livable space, and it was like a 400 square foot area, and it had an attached bath. And we said, hey, maybe we could short-term rent this side of the house and then live in the rest and stifle that rent payment. And if y'all are familiar with house hacking, there's another big thing that they talk about with Bigger Pockets. So we essentially did that, and over the last 3 years, we've gotten really good at it. Had some success that I was able to replicate for other people as well. And yeah, this channel, this content, whatever the heck this is, wherever you're going to see it, is me trying to provide value to you and trying to share what I've learned in the Gainesville market, and hopefully I can help y'all make some money, and hopefully you learn something. Y'all, so this is 3 big reasons why this works. So the first reason is the presence of the University of Florida, obviously, in Gainesville. This is a major draw. If y'all are alumni or you know anything about collegiate football, not that I do, I just know that the crowds that it draws and the sheer size of the industry is incredible. The stadium alone here in Gainesville holds about 90,000 people approximately. The entire student body is about 50,000. So there's 40,000 extra seats in that stadium, which they've filled the stadiums before, which is just incredible. So for a quarter of the year, we're talking about a huge demand spike that's bringing in, the hotels are charging $1,200 a night for the hotel right across from the campus. That's right next to the Paisanos, if you're familiar with the area. If not, no big deal. It's literally charging $1,200 a night and hotel rooms, super small spaces, 2 beds, 1 bathroom. There's a TV, maybe there's a place for your desk, a mini fridge, I don't know. Not ideal. And people will still pay those prices. They'll be fully booked. So imagine what Airbnb can do in this market. That, just to give you a sense, be prepared to realize some major returns here in Gainesville, Florida. So the second big reason is the presence of UF Health Shands here in Gainesville, Florida. Now, people come from neighboring towns. They come for their routine visits. They come for other miscellaneous stuff. That's not such a big deal. The big deal in the hospital itself is the staff, right? There's people that come all times of the year, right? Travel nurses come. There's a huge niche just in Gainesville of medium-term renters, right? So not short-term renting, not long-term, maybe month to month, maybe 3 to 6 months, something like that. That market is huge here in Gainesville. So you have a year-long supply of just people, travel contracts, nurses that are just coming. You have people, I've had people stay to do their residency. Doctors come in July and they'll stay a whole month just to do their residency. So there's a lot going on all the time. People, unfortunately, there's people in the hospital. They come from out of town and they have people, loved ones in the hospital, and they'll come and stay. So the Shands is a big draw as well, and is even responsible for an entire niche here in Gainesville, Florida for medium-term renting. So another really good reason. Third big reason why short-term rental works here in Gainesville is also because the competition. Your competition is really not that fierce. I mean, the demand is so overwhelming for the majority of the year, which, first off, people don't even realize that, right? A lot of people just open up their rentals for the football season when the demand is healthy enough for the entire year, which is, you're already ahead if you just accept that fact. But besides that, there's so much demand that your average Joe Schmo, with a very minimal sense of anything of what's going on or the market or things that we talk about like dynamic pricing and property management softwares and Airbnb search engine optimization and how their algorithm works, all these other things that you get really, really in depth, furnishing, theming, all that stuff. Even your average Joe Schmo really can perform maybe probably about 50% occupancy is the average here in Gainesville. So even the middle of the road people, the average guy is doing 50% occupancy at, pretty healthy rates that are definitely making more than what their long-term rental would, right? So it's really, really easy to get ahead. My goal with my content is to get you ahead, is to really share all the things that I've learned here so far. And I'm hoping that you really find value in this. And I really, really hope that, I could really help y'all make the most money that possible on your rental. That really is my belief here. So y'all, if you really do want to get ahead, I made a free short-term rental starter guide. It basically walks through the systems that I have, the things that I use. It's not necessarily necessary for people if you're just starting or if you have one listing, but if y'all plan on acquiring more properties, you have other short-term rental aspirations and goals, or even if you did just have one and you just want to have a really strong foundation and get a really good fundamental idea of how things work and guest interactions, the different softwares that's available to you, and how to just squeeze the most out of your property. They usually charge by the listing, and to have one listing on all these softwares is really not expensive. Maybe under $100 a month, maybe even under $75. So, feel free to download this free guide. It'll give you a really good starting point. Hopefully establish some credibility to me that maybe I know what the heck I'm doing. And yeah, so let's get you ahead. Let's get you making money. Let's get you making the most possible out of the property that you've spent so much time. I know how hard just the process of getting a property is. Between the lenders and the down payment and all the things that come up in inspection and the appraisers and all, it's a disaster, especially at the interest rates 8% right now as of 2025. It's crazy. But even in this market with short-term renting, specific to Gainesville, Florida, I could make you money, cash flowing and building equity in a market at 8%. This is incredible, and I really feel like y'all should listen. I really feel like I can help you all, and I really feel like this is something that can work for you. So let's do it.